Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's Tournament Game 7, where we are playing Helheim. This is turn 30. Let's jump into things. Okay, so we don't actually have a whole lot going on this turn, but there is a fair amount of things happening in the game, so we'll gloss over to everything and discuss some of the things more in detail. But we have hit Construction 4. This is very good for us. We're going to be reserved in our initial jumps into construction from Construction 4. I said Conjuration, didn't I? So we're not going to just immediately start doing a crazy amount of Construction 4 things. We're going to take baby steps, build up some infrastructure or some item structure, I guess, in that type of scenario, and then go about our construction. So done Construction 4, on our way up to Evocation 3. We are done with 1. Did some reanimation, got a new Mound King. There is a battle in the Towers of Heaven. Okay. So this was a magic phase battle. As this, I think they're Bow Banshees is what they're the pronunciation. I'm not sure on the first part of it. I know a banshee basically is the second part, but anyways, so she comes in. This is Assassin Spellsinger. This is actually one of Tyrannog's really good mages. Well, I say really good mage, really good assassin mages. They're interesting. But she comes in with air elementals versus our 1 PD. And this is known. Like, I told him, hey, I have 1 PD here, watch out. And it actually, yeah. So the air elemental does do the job. It takes it a second. Interestingly though, actually watch that. Right, I have a shock resistance bless, so come in and the air elemental does lightning swarm. But he also tramples. I think he actually gets me through trample. Like, see, each of these are slowly taking off. Yeah, he actually routes me through. Oh no, it looks like maybe he hit that time. But there was a moment there where it was kind of like, but Tyrannog does take the province, which it was intended. Then we found some magic sites. We found a magic site in Tiny Willow. We got a copper idol. This is great because this puts us at 5 air gems per turn, meaning we're not decreasing our air gems with a owl quill every turn. And once we get a dwarven hammer into that mage's hands, then we will actually be going up. So good. We've got a series of battles. Unfortunately, we're not getting anything with, again, Svart 1 and Jade Sork 1. I was hoping we would be getting some more death sites. Have not been, or earth sites, or nature, or water, or anything really. But kind of getting very meh for early age amounts of sites. So we have a battle in High Peaks where we were attacked by Sarmatia. We've got 1 province defense here versus some Oiropatas, so we know how this is going to turn out. There's always the chance that we get 1 kill though with our Van here PD. Unlikely, but there's a chance. Partially unlikely because he's gonna fatigue himself out. Could be dead. Okay, so we lose the battle in High Peaks. Then we attack in Gifa with 2 little raiding parties. And this is a combined effort to once again make sure that... Oh. This guy immediately got crippled. Unfortunate. But this is an effort to make sure that we are preventing him from having multiple fortresses, multiple places to recruit, etc. So we didn't take any damage, although we did basically lose a hell hurting to cripple. And we get to see Tirnanog attack in Glimmering Fields with about 50 Tuathas. And they will be going up against a modest amount of PD, which would be no problems for thems. Oof, that's just being butchered. Goodness gracious. Very nice. Okay, so they take Glimmering Fields, we take Gifa. Good, very nice. Take those fortresses out of the hands of Sarmatia. We've got another battle in Tower of Heavens where Sarmatia has moved in, attempting to counter raid me, but now they meet this Baoban Shi, and it's immediately going to do an air elemental. Unfortunately, there's a lot of Sauromatian cataphracts here. Had this run into a set of Oirapatas, it might have gone differently. I don't think it would have worked, but it might have gone differently because the Oirapatas tend to sit back for an extended duration of time, right? However, what happens is the air elemental gets summoned, it goes up, it doesn't go to the backfield, it hits the midfield, so it doesn't instantly kill their leadership, and then its leadership dies, and then it lands and kills some more cataphracts, basically, before it dies. As it do, and then it basically dies to not having leadership. So Tirnanog loses a mage there, unfortunately. But he does kill some Sauromatian Lancers. Had that air elemental actually gone for the commander all the way in the back, then that might have actually worked. And then we get to see a new battle, and this one's a little different, right? Helheim versus Marverni in CERN. So Helheim has basically decided, oh, I'm just going to keep rolling. So he has taken Agartha, and he is now rolling into Marverni. And I don't know that Marverni has had enough time to recuperate from what he lost with Agartha. But there was a lot of province defense in this province. That being said, Storm goes up, and the Thunder Strikes come out. Crikey. Thunder Strike. Whew, it's so scary. It's so scary. And these Aria Seraphs I should throw out, right? These Aria Seraphs, we should actually take a look at them. They're really good. Thunder Strikers. Like, let's so he loses 25 Spirehorn warriors there. Not a huge ordeal, but let's take a look at those Aria Seraphs real quick. It's Calum. The Aria Seraphs over here, right? 125 gold for a 3-path mage is pretty good, period. Decent movement. Oh, I say decent movement. Very good movement. Kind of mediocre stats, low HP, right? But these guys being 125 gold mages that are heir to Water 1, meaning they can basically... They're incredibly good Thunder Strikers, right? Just incredibly well-priced Thunder Strike machines. That's very scary. Very scary. So what else we've got? Demons have manifested in Gifa. and have given us Turmoil 3. In Palmania, we found some nature gems. And in Ancient Woods, a hailstorm has devastated the countryside, killing cattle and shepherds. Unfortunate. And then we actually had a battle in Gifa from the demons manifesting. Fortunately, we just attacked there with a bunch of Hellherdings. And these are just Spine Devils. Now, Spine Devils are actually relatively killy. But they are very easily killed. So this shouldn't be too big of a deal for us. Got a couple poison procs. No deal. Yeah, we lose nothing. Very nice. And we have started to destroy the fort in Gifa, but it's going very slowly. Yes, it's going very slowly. Okay, what are we doing? This is actually going to be a very quick turn movement-wise, because again, we are not doing a bunch of crazy stuff. We are consolidating two strike forces onto high peaks. It is possible that he leaves something there, and that is the general plan, right? If I have been moving around Van Jarls, right, we've been training him repeatedly, attacking locations with Van Jarls. Maybe he tries to hold high peaks with a token force or a small force of Oirapadas or something like that. The hope there being that if we hit him with 2 teams of Van Heers, it's in the wrong team. Chest wound, chest wound. Gonna send the wrong team. Gain siege and you back. This is in the better team. More combat potential. So we are attacking into high peaks just to see if he actually does anything there. We are janking up my plans. We are sending back our Jarls, at least some of our Jarls, towards Tiny Willow. We'll probably be bringing some more out, so it's okay. We are actually bringing out 2 new forces, 2 little small 5 Hellherding forces, with her 7 and her 16. So they will be in range to head towards Gifa next turn, potentially, depending on what he does. So then we would have, in theory, 5 groups of Hellherdings, so 25 Hellherdings at Gifa. We're also hiring mercenaries in Gifa as well, just to provide some extra oomph and potential siege options. We'll see how that goes. It's probably just going to be money down the drain, but at this point, again, we're just trying to pressure Dharmasha and force him to play into weird situations while we continue to build up infrastructure. Speaking of building up infrastructure, our palisade continues, and this turn we are going to throw up a lab. Next turn, we will throw up a temple. We continue to recruit Van Heers and Hellherdings. We want to upgrade to Van Jarls at the very least. We want to upgrade to Hangadrots, but because we are spending money on infrastructure right now, our money is basically a little occupado. We are recruiting Van Heers still in Koenberg for research purposes. We'll continue to do that. We are moving Svart 1 and Jade Sork 1 into Titan's Breath in order to continue site searching, continuing to preach in Ancient Woods, and we are moving we're moving Jarls towards Tiny Willow. We're probably going to be I'm actually going to move one set of undead down to Tiny Willow as well. We're going to be blood hunting. We're going to start blood hunting. We are forging some Sanguine Dowsing Rods. There is already a lab here in Tiny Willow. That is why I'm picking Tiny Willow over, say, Sinafe or Orman. Tiny Willow will kill out faster than those other places, but realistically, I'm probably going to end up having blood hunting groups in Sinafe or in Orman and in Orman, etc. Right? Because I mean, we gotta blood hunt, man. Gotta blood hunt the shit out of things. So probably what we're gonna do. All right. what else do we have going on? I honestly, we don't have a whole lot else going on. We're going to complete Evocation 2 this turn. We won't complete Evocation 3 this turn, but we will the following turn, and we'll probably be able to do Evocation 3 and Blood 1 on the same turn. We'll probably run up Blood, or we might pause, depending on what's going on. Right, we might pause and run further up Evocation to 5 so that we can do our own Storm, Thunderstrike stuff. That is an option. That's always been an option, but that means consolidating our forces when, instead of having like 15 Jarls running around doing things, that means bringing all of those Jarls together in order to Thunderstrike, which is something we want in our arsenal, but something I was not trying to resort to immediately. But that might be one of the only ways we can really crack the tough nut that is Sarmatia. And I think that's it. Honestly, I think that's it for what we are doing. But there is some to talk about, right? And the some to talk about is Calum. So Calum took Agartha and then immediately turned on Marverni, and you can see they've hit a number of locations in Marverni. So this is somewhat of a big deal. I do not know how well Marverni is going to be able to resist Calum, but Tirnanog and I have been talking about it. Obviously, having a massive Calum is no bueno. So I am going to be preparing, talking with Memoria and Tirnanog about contingency plans for if Calum does bowl over Marverni. The idea of me hitting Calum in Marverni, or using that as an open front, even going so far as to sneak raiders down into their territory, because that is one of the unique things that you can do with someone like Tirnanog or Helheim or Van, is you can even, you know, say like I wanted to, well, I guess I have a front there, but someone's on the other side of the world. Just because you don't share a border with them doesn't mean that you can't get involved in a war with them, right? Because you have stealthy high map move guys that can basically go through a lot of territory to get to the enemy. So we can kind of do that, right? We could jump through into some of Calum's other land and start raiding around. That is on the table. But we have to keep our eye on things. Obviously, right, as soon as we pull pressure from Sarmatia, then Sarmatia is going to be a huge problem. We still want to potentially enact our plan of getting a fort up in Brightgate, controlling this territory, maybe eventually getting to the point to where we are doing like seeking arrow spams on to Sarmatia, right, to soften him up, make him lose Inaris. It's that type of situation. But to do that, we want a little bit of a better air income than what we have right now. We still have a number of places to site search for air 2. But we're kind of running into this situation where we're not... We take a look at our magic resources. We're not doing too hot. I say we're not doing too hot. We're not doing too hot this game, period. It's already turned 30. We haven't even won our first war, because Sarmatia has been incredibly stubborn, and I have been playing poorly. We're gonna have to figure out what it is that we can even do in the long run. So that's pretty much it for the turn. All eyes are on Calum. Although I'm beginning to think that Tirnanog might actually be a bit of a problem. They're kind of popped all over Hinnom now. So this might soon be Tirnanog. Alright, anyways, that is going to be it for the turn. I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.